And welcome back to the Heart of Chaos. I'm Avi, once again of Chaotic Reunion, and I welcome you back to Banjo Kazooie. In the last episode, we entered Clanker's cavern and explored quite a bit of his large, well, cavern. And in this episode, we're going to explore inside Clanker himself, as well as explore a good portion of the rest of his cavern itself. I don't really have a stable, plan like I do in other titles. I want to keep this series laid back, most definitely, but I also kind of want to tone down on what is to be the stupidity of my commentary. I don't know, I just find it distasteful to myself, and it's not who I am. Like, yeah, I can definitely be silly, and those moments are scattered throughout my gaming commentary as a whole, but I want to keep it more along the lines of, how I actually am, and rather than forcing out a silly commentary for the sake of a silly commentary. It's been lessening my enjoyment of Banjo Kazooie. Hey, you have to jump through it like this! Huh? Banjo skill. So yeah, I'm gonna probably tone down the needless stupidity, but hopefully this series is still quite enjoyable. And I hope you continue to watch. Okay. That being said, let us grab that last green ring, as I believe it raises the water level. Raises the water level and gets us a Jiggy. Oh, glory days. Glory be unto the Jiggy. My Jiggy gods. Okay. Oh, for a second I thought I wasn't going to make it in that. Alright, we can't get up here, can we? No. No, you don't get ledge grabbing until Banjo Tooie, I believe. So that's a thing. There's a note over there, but I know for a fact that note leads to an exit of some sorts. But there's a flight pad over here, as well as more golden feathers, and we want all the golden feathers. Actually, no. You only want 5 golden feathers, right? Yeah, I believe you only need to have 5 golden feathers. Any more are a waste, so I will stop collecting them. Collectimating them. Okay. Let's get past the giant tentacle of doom and make our way over into this area. Okay. I stopped talking because of the transition phase, and I ended up not walking in time, so whoops. Anyway, here's the move bottles will teach us. This move uses Biko's wings as a shield against the bad guys. Cool, does it make me invulnerable? Sure does. Hold the right or left trigger and push right stick right. Keep the right or left trigger held and use the left stick to move around. Ugh, God. I know a lot of these controls are based around the N64 controller. I think they transition rather well in terms of, like, putting them on an Xbox 360 controller, but some of them are a little awkward. Some of the camera movement is a little weird. But, as we heard, let's go ahead and use this ability! We get amazing music, and we use those golden feathers, and we continue to run down this way because we just got ourselves a Jiggy. And you can really tell how flat those are. Holy crap. That's, majorly flat. Alright, well, regardless, let's continue on down this way. We must get out of here and not waste any more feathers, because feathers are golden feathers are rare. And, you want to use them as much as you can in areas that are giving you trouble, but I would recommend saving them till the absolute necessary time and not hurting yourself in that way. Because when you're out of them and you need them, that's when things start to go around. I believe we've collected everything inside of here. I'm going to regret it if I haven't, but I felt I've been thorough. Let's go ahead and leave Clanker. Okay. Now, oh wow, I made it up that way. I've never done that way before. That's kind of cool actually. Alright, one thing I don't think I've done yet is, you see this hole over here? Well, let's go ahead up here, and it leads us on a platform, and there's another Jiggy, which we will grab. One of the cool things about Banjo Kazooie's level design is just how simple, yet, like, intricate the level design is, that, it's quite obvious where a path will lead. That's a problem a lot of open world games, I believe, suffer. And while, this is the open world generation, as I'm here playing a game from the 90s, we need more collectathons. Like, truly, a friend and I have been talking recently, and, like, we need not necessarily a Banjo game, because Banjo belongs to Rare, But like collectathons in general, like there's a Hat in Time, which I would recommend anyone who's a fan of collectathons go keep an eye on a Hat in Time and see how it is, because you might just find something amazing there for your enjoyment. All right, I believe we use our eggs over here, and that opens that up, getting us another Jiggy. But we need more collectathons, honestly. In fact, we need all kinds of genres to come back. This past generation was very shooter heavy. Very shooter heavy. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of first-person shooters. I've played many of the mainstream ones and many of the non-mainstream ones. Deus Ex Human Revolution is a shooter, and it's one of my favorite games. So, like, you know, I've played all the Call of Duties and the Halos. I'm a huge Halo fan. So, like, all those FPSs are really good, but it gets stale after a while. When there are other genres that are, you know, in the indie market, but, you know, we could benefit from AAA releases that would then get the indie market also. Like, let me tell you, getting AAA products inside of, like, of all kinds of genres only seeks to aid the further development and increase the amount of people who are looking for more similar games on the indie market. Collectathons have died. I've mentioned it before previously in Jack and Daxter, but I'll mention it here too. Collectathons died with the late 90s, and it is, you know, my girlfriend and I believe that the 90s didn't end until the early 2000s, like 2004. I know saying it didn't end to the 2000s is rather redundant and silly, but as in, like, it was like about 2004 where the truly ended. And, well, the 90s in general ended. Like, things where that humor was started to dissipate. A lot of cartoons transitioned into things like, you know, more, I guess, not visual humor. Like, it was always visual humor, but in terms of, like, we got Flapjack on Cartoon Network, and I remember as a kid that was, like that was the true defining moment where I hated cartoons, because I despised Flapjack. It's a terrible show, in my opinion. You know, there are people who find humor in that type of area, but I wasn't a fan of the show, and that was a big point where I realized, you know, times have changed majorly. All right, now this is where we're coming down to crunch time. Coming down to crunch time. Oh, there's more under to explore down here, right? Okay, we're not out of places to explore just yet. Yeah, there's a hole over here, which we want because I believe this hole is just. Oh, wait, does this lead somewhere? No, I thought this was just a path. This is the entrance, isn't it? Oh, welcome back to the entrance, me. I am the brightest, going back where I don't need to be. But yeah, you know, the 90s were a good time, but also a very terrifying time, because at the same time while we were getting, like, some gems in terms of cartoons and shows and video games, there was also some very bad ones. The N64 had a lot of terrible games, and a lot of people regarded it as, like, the best system ever. I disagree. There were some great games like Mario 64, Banjo Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo Tooie, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and you know, those major titles that I'm listing. Then we had hidden gems. We had the terrible Castlevania 64 to a lot of people. Though to me, Castlevania 64, I actually loved it as a kid. I don't know. I also might be sparking this conversation from the fact that I'm playing a game that's very reminiscent, that is an N64 game ported up. And recently I've been watching Game Grumps. I don't need to endorse Game Grumps at all. Like, seriously, not at all. But they were recently playing Castlevania 64 and hating on it. And I was like, yeah, it's not a great game, but it is most certainly not that bad of a game, as anyone with a sense of observance can tell. Don't get me wrong, I love the Game Grumps. There's some great funny people to watch, but boy, are they unobservant. I guess it's part of their charm, to be honest. Did I already come through here and I'm just coming through here again? It feels like it. I feel like I just got the Jinjo here and I'm going through it. Oh, no, that was a Jiggy. That was a Jiggy. I am a genius. I got the Jiggy. Alright. Enough of that. Let's continue back to the Banjo Kazooie. This is basically my series. You know, we're playing a game, and to me, this is the series that I'm going to be taking a lot of stuff. Honestly, I probably could have completed Banjo Kazooie. Oh my god, hang on a second. Oh, that was close. I saw my breath meter. I could have done this whole series, Banjo Kazooie, and turned it into the backdrop for my entire Let's Ramble series, where I completed Banjo Kazooie in the background and then moved on to another shorter game. But no, I kind of want to keep games. What I'm not so sure of, because of how silly I was for a good majority of the beginning of the game, and just for the fact how it's so laid back, do we want a review of Banjo Kazooie? Like, I mean, there's the obvious praise that people give, and then there's the obvious criticisms to give on the game as well. At least to me. I don't know. Do we want a review of Banjo Kazooie? Oh God, note. I want it. I also want to breathe, so I'm gonna grab this note, go up, and then come back in the pipe. Because breathing is a key component to life. We like breath. That is a thing we want to keep. We want to keep going. But yeah, because of how laid back this series is, do we want a review? Because I can skip this one and we'll focus on the Jak and Daxter game review-wise and Hyrule Warriors, which will take the longest of the three to complete because of how much time it takes. I can only do one episode at a time because my voice dies after like 40 minutes of straight-on recording with enthusiasm. Another thing people don't understand about recording, or at least they may understand if you have done it yourself, is that you have a limit. You can't just keep playing an entire game all day like you would normally. There has to be breaks. You need to give yourself time to breathe. You need your time. You don't want to kill your voice. You also want to keep enthusiasm when talking, because you don't want to get stale and boring. And, well, you know, a boring commentary is most certainly a subjective thing where I'm out of places to go, I feel. I'm gonna go back in here. This place seems fun. But yeah, while a commentary is definitely subjective, there are people who I don't like that you may completely love. This is leading back to that Jiggy, isn't it? Yeah, this is back to that Jiggy. Curses! I'm lost. You know, that's perfectly great. The world goes round. Opinions are allowed in this great big world that we live in. But to me, I want to keep my commentary mostly enthusiastic. There are points where I'm obviously going to trail off every now and then due to just being tired or a lot of commentary, or in general, maybe I'm playing a bad game at some point. So that'll be a thing. I haven't revealed two of the projects I want to be doing. This is back to that, this area over here. Damn. And it's back to these, crabs. Whoops. We are going to complete Clanker's Cavern in this episode. I'm not going to let this go without completing Clanker's Cavern. If I must cut, I must cut. But I would like to get done with this in a reasonable time frame. I know that leads to the Jiggy. We got some... I'm worried now. If this pipe doesn't lead anywhere, which I believe this just leads to a Jinjo that we already collected, and there's two Jinjos that we're missing, so what don't I have? Where haven't I been? Yeah, this is concerning me. I will be right back when I find out where I will go. Oh. I found some stuff. Including this. Which will get us something later. But, cool. I'm actually kind of ashamed of myself that I didn't try this earlier. I thought it would just lead into another area. I didn't realize it would lead to this, like, as a thing. I'm a little silly. Regardless, that gets us a Jiggy. And we should be proud of that. What Jiggy is this? Alright, there's one more Jiggy, which is the Jinjos I need to collect, and some notes. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, see, this is where this leads. Oh, okay. Now I'm still concerned as to what I'm missing. Like, I felt I was thorough, but at the same time I could very easily not have been thorough. Let's go back up here. Oh, you can't. Oh. I didn't even know this. I thought you could always come back up here, I think. Oh, well. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Nothing in here for me to do the collecting thing for. So, let's just leave, I guess. There's something down here. Ooh, oh, hang on. I'm an idiot. There's stuff in here still. This happens a lot. Oh, hang on. No, don't leave. Banjo! Banjo, go back in his gills. Thanks, Banjo. He has gills on the other side, too. Wouldn't he? This is something I want to check, because I am a person who checks these things. Alright, I'm missing 5 notes and 2 Jinjos, yes? Yeah. This is annoyingly awkward, I would say. I'm just gonna have to cut again because I do not want to wander around aimlessly. I believe, is there a Jinjo down here? There is! Cool, we found a Jinjo, and I guess the other 5 notes and 1 Jinjo will be together forever. Let's go looking for that last Jinjo and notes. This bear may be onto something. I looked up here and I realized I haven't been up here, and this feels like a thing that would have notes. Yep, there's some notes. There's some notes, alright. There's eggs down there, and I feel as if, yeah, there's all the notes, but we're still missing a Jinjo. What's in here? Oh, there it is! I didn't even see it. Also, keep in mind I can't hear it because my volume is so low. But here we go. We got a Jiggy. We got all the Jiggies. We completed Clanker's Cavern. And in the next episode of Banjo Kazooie, I will meet you outside in Gruntilda's castle so that we may get ready for Bubble Gloop Swamp, which we accidentally opened before even coming into Clanker's Cavern. Yeah, can you tell I haven't played Banjo Kazooie in years? I'm sure you can. Goodbye.